let's move on to the next topic. And this is one that I had to add last minute because it came out of nowhere. I was like, what what is happening? So if you saw the title of my video change, is because this came out of nowhere. I was like, what is happening? How is this happening? And this is the Legend of Zelda. Marvel's Nintendo and Sony are teaming up to make a live action Legend of Zelda movie, not animated, live action. We're getting a live action Legend of Zelda film. I am super excited. Legend of Zelda is one of my favorite franchises, it's one of the greatest games of all time. I think it has potential to be $1 billion franchise if done correctly because the lore and the charm of it is so great. But I'm also a little worried because I thought it was going to be animated just like the Mario movie, but this is going to be live action. This is coming from IGN, who broke the news just maybe, I don't even know, like an hour ago. This I just saw this come out. It says Nintendo's finally making a live action Legend of Zelda movie after years of hopes and months of rumors. The news was shared today in an official post to Nintendo's investors. So that's how you know it's real. They're giving it to investors. This is to get their stock market up. This is to get their they're the people to invest to the company and do different things because the Mario movie was huge. With new details, the film is being produced by Nintendo Shigeru Miyamoto and Avi Arad, chairman of Arad Productions, former founder and CEO of Marvel Studios. That's huge. Arad has been credited as a producer for numerous successful films over the years, most recently including Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, Into the Spider-Verse, No Way Home, Far From Home, Homecoming. That gives me a little worried because those are easy home runs, Spider-Man. But he's also working on Kraven the Hunter and the Borderlands movie, which is very, very interesting. But Dave Show just said something really interesting. He said, live action. Oh, no. He said, what the F? So Nintendo and Sony teaming up. Yeah, that's huge. I wasn't even thinking about that. The fact that Nintendo and Sony are teaming up to make this is like a multiverse. What are we talking about here? The Maze Runner director, Wes Ball, is set to direct, and Sony Pictures Entertainment will handle theatrical distribution in addition to co-financing the movie with Nintendo. This is so weird. Though the press release indicates that development is just beginning in a tweet/X post. I really hate that they changed it from tweet to post. It's so stupid. Post sounds so dumb. Tweet/X post today, Miyamoto indicated that the project has been in the works for some time now, for many years. Live action Zelda movie is finally a reality. Early this year, rumors abound that a live action Zelda movie was in the works, but the word on the Hyrule Street was that Universal was involved, or perhaps Illumination, which is under Universal. And obviously, since they did the Mario movie, it did $1 billion. We thought Universal would get another catch at it, but no, it's Sony. The rumors were fueled by Tears of Kingdom developers themselves, who expressed that they were interested in making a Zelda movie after the success of the Super Mario movie early this year. However, Eiji Onoma said at this time, it's not just me being interested in something that makes things happen, unfortunately. A Netflix series was reportedly canceled after leaking on the internet. I've asked Avi-san to produce this film with me, and we now have officially started development of the film with Nintendo itself heavily involved in production. It will take time until its completion, but I hope to look forward to seeing it. Unlike the Mario movie, the Zelda is live action, meaning casting characters such as Link, Zelda, Ganon, and others will take an entirely new dimension. The Super Mario Brothers movies while Relevancy did undergo pre-release criticism over the decision to cast Chris Pratt as Mario. A Zelda film will presumably be held up to a similar fan scrutiny, even if Link remains a silent protagonist as in the games. That is a big point that they just brought up. That is coming from IGN. It's an official post. We are getting a live action Zelda movie.
He's so fluffy, I'm gonna die.
That is how I'm feeling right now. That's how excited I am. It's so good. It's so yummy. It's so fluffy. I feel like I want to die. This is going to be absolutely exciting and amazing. It looks like video game movies are going to be the new comic book movies and TV shows because we've getting a lot of good to great stuff. I see someone talking about Gran Turismo. Shockingly great film. One of my favorite movies of the year. So good. I heard that Twisted Metal was really good. I have not gotten to check it out yet, but I heard it was entertaining. Obviously, The Last of Us was huge, and they officially have rumored to say that 2 more seasons are coming, which I think is a smart idea to break up that second game into 2 seasons. I think that's genius. And we have other things down the pipeline that's coming. We're getting God of War. We're getting Horizon's Zero Dawn show, 2 of them. And Horizon's my favorite franchise. Super excited about that. But Legend of Zelda, to me, other than Mario, has the potential to be the biggest out of all these. Has the namesake, has the lore, it has the different stories to tell. This can be an anthology movie where each time at the end, Zelda resets. Well, sorry, Link resets. Now the questions here is that the fact that it's not animated and it's live action. That's the only thing I really worry about because casting. Whoever they cast as Link, I feel sorry for. I feel sorry for it. It's gonna go under so much scrutiny if he doesn't look like an elven boy. It's not gonna work that well for him in terms of fan outlash. But if the person is a great actor and can pull off silent protagonists, kind of like how Henry Cavill pulled off Geralt, only a little bit of talking because it has to talk eventually. It can't be fully silent like Mario talked and it was fine. This can work really well. The thing is that goes on with this movie, and this is a question for you guys, is the tone. What tone are we getting? Is this going to be Game of Thrones? Because a lot of people think that that's what should happen. It should be a Game of Thrones level kind of film. Is it going to be more Lord of the Rings? I think that would be very interesting. I think the Lord of the Rings tone would be very apt. I'm not sure if we can get that from Wes Ball because what he's done before is not to that level. But I'm never going to hold a director down by what they did before because we've seen directors go from one thing and the next thing, like, whoa, how did they even make this? You know, you never know what's in their wheelhouse. But guys, what do you think of the tone? What do you think of this news? What do you think about Nintendo and Sony teaming up? Let's check the live chat and see what you guys have to say about this exciting news. Once again, this just blows my mind. It's so funny. What the WTF? Nintendo and Sony teaming up. That is insane. Spoiler Kings, what I was talking about. Live action sounds awesome, but super risky. Yeah, it would have been a less risk to do it animated because animation, you have more things to do, more things you're unbounded by, you know? Hey, live action Zelda. Yes, please. Yeah, man. I'm glad that I'm breaking news for you guys. And oh yeah, live action. I don't know, man. I'm not even a huge Zelda fan, but I'm worried. I feel that. That's another thing. Are the non-Zelda fans going to come out? I mean, the Gran Turismo was shockingly good film. Yeah, it was really, really good. But with the strike still happening, when do we even see this? Well, the thing is, they said this is the beginning. So by the time this movie starts development, the strike should be over. Because this is not coming out till 2026 probably. This is they're just announcing it to get the investors involved, to get people hype, but we're not seeing this movie for a while. Especially since it's going to be live action, it's going to take a long to film. They have to do a lot of pre-production. Nintendo takes their time. You see how long they could have announced this movie right after Mario made 1 billion and like, oh, the next one's coming, but they're taking their time, and I think that's smart, and that's what's something that other companies, DC, Star Wars, Marvel, they need to take their time with their films, not rush things. I watched Coraline for the first time this week, and I'm mad at myself for not watching it sooner. I watched that recently for my Throwback Thursdays. Really good movie. God of War will get me to pay attention for Amazon Prime. Yeah, man, that's big for Amazon Prime to get God of War. A little unfair to call Spider-Verse movies easy home runs because they weren't just successful. They're two of the most well-received animated movies of the last decade. They're both critical and fans. When I say home run, I'm not talking about the movie itself. Obviously, Spider-Verse was risky. There's still a lot of people that don't like animation, don't like the way it's animated. But when I say by that, I say if you're a producer on a Spider-Man project, I feel like it's easier to get that as a credit because Spider-Man's automatically going to bring in some people. You know, you can flop, you can fail like Mobius if you do it wrong, but people will go check it out and then hear the backlash as well. So I think if you have Spider-Man the character in something, it's easier to produce than if it's just original or if it's something that's more obscure like Legend of Zelda. Legend of Zelda is not as popular as Spider-Man, even though it sells crazy amount of copies. So that's what I meant. Chris Pratt as Link. No, don't do that. Timothy Chalamet should portray Link. Look, that's my boy. I love me some Timothy Chalamet. I think that he could do a great job. He has the elven look. They can make him look like Link. He is playing Wonka. He is in Dune. So he might have too many franchises under his belt already to take on another one. We've had some really good video game adaptations we had some really good video game adaptations this year. That's really, really true. Wrestling question. What's your pick to dethrone Roman Reigns, Zach? My pick is Jey Uso, and it's been that since the beginning. I heard Five Nights at Freddy is a good game. I've heard that too. I've never played it, but a lot of people love it. And the movie is doing really, really well. I'm about to start talking about that in my box office tracker, which I actually don't have opened up. I want Zelda to have a tone like the game. Big land adventure with goals and an RPG style. That's hard to do in 2.5 hours. Yeah, we're not going to be able to do that. It's going to have to be way more streamlined. But think about that. Look, Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, Skyward Sword, the original GBA games, they weren't this huge open world game. They were a lot more narrow than Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. So let's not think that the Zelda game has to be Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom. They can go back to the basics and start with the older stories and then work their way up to that. See how people react to a Majora's Mask or a Minish Cap or something else like that. So yeah, that's exciting news. I'm really, really super excited to check that out. And let me open up my next tab.